Good morning, Madam Queen. I am surprised to see you here as your consort is having his true history revealed by Eliza Manningham or some other law enforcement female cop. Perhaps that dick named Cressida wore the embattled Oxford and well-valid turncoat who just rolled over on her fellow cops in Merseyside.
I am not the Queen. I am Hamish Charles Watson, and I am here to meet a solicitor who can bring charges against Merseyside Police and 3 officials in Whittle government orifices. Are you the solicitor from Dew, Cheetham and Howe?
No, Hamish. I am Agent Sierra Romeo. I work for the world's largest private intel agency. Seems I have heard your name somewhere. Are you a banker in the LIBOR fraud?
No, my good man, Agent Sierra Romeo. I also work at Abel Danger, and I am here to prepare the research for the Striker Accord event in Dunstable while Agent Chips attends to aviation matters including the Suqua Superjet and Air France 447 hits. Agent Chips is also preparing surprise and early ends to the presidential charades of a Mormon and a Muslim who are thinking they will be the first presidential poor choices since 1932 to have 4 candidates, none being veterans. What a disgrace.
Well, not to be argumentative, but Romney is a veteran of pedophile trading. Obama is a veteran of being a victim of pedophilia. By you have piqued my interest. Who were the candidates in 1932?
FDR and Herbert *The Big Suck Hoover were the presidential paltry choices, and
yes, I recall. What a lackluster offering.
The vice presidential candidates were John Nance and Charles Curtis.
Who?
Exactly, a pair of nobodies. Well, if the Mormon and the Muslim don't get the hook, it could be worse this year. The Mormon and the Muslim signaled the end to the American Republic as the European royals intent on taking down UK and US need a continent to retreat to now that the Islamatization of Europe has caused them to be strangers in their own shitty countries.
I concur. We must stop the Muslim, the Mormon and the wanker bankers. Do you bring news from North America? Give me a second to turn on my chin whisker recording device. Test. Good volume. Go ahead. I am on record and broadcast to all Abel Danger, sovereign independent, UK column to the Free Roger Hayes Facebook network. Let her RIP.
The Wirral Council is in disarray. They have shipped Candy and Coleman and his finance clown David Taylor Smith, the issuer of poor legal advice Bill Norman, and of course David Green was canned 4 months ago. Jim Wilkie is also confused regarding the meaning of transparency, honesty and rule of law. Even though Wirral has canned these goons in last 5 months, Ian Coleman's name is still on automated responses. How is it Wirral and Merseyside can arrest, charge, try, sentence and imprison Roger Hayes in an hour, and they cannot change the automatic signature in a week? Something is really a FU in Wirral, Merseyside, Liverpool, the court in Manchester and perhaps England itself. It is as if these misfits all have a common purpose, but alas, I digress. Here come today's points. Ready?
Shoot.
According to Marinefield McConnell, Michelle Obama and her erstwhile Sidley Austin law firm associates to a LIBOR leveraged lease on the WTC Twin Towers, allegedly arranged for Sidley clients to accelerate debt recovery with a pass-through insurance fraud in which controlled demolitions were used to generate what was described as a double occurrence event. Got it?
Oui.
Mrs. Belair's, the fork-saluting cop killer with a horrid complexion, Bernardine Don, at Sidley Austin from 1984 to 1988, allegedly mentored Michelle Obama in the development of Twin Towers Special Operation Forces Demolition Kit, SODFK, for the attacks of both 1993 and 2001 after she had lost her law license for trying to shake down whites and Jews during the time when she was involved with a TNT, Union Carbide, and that lesbian running public TV and the inane show about a purple dinosaur. Got it?
Duh.
Item 4. In the period from 84 to 93, the first attack on the Twin Towers in 1993, Barack and Michelle Obama allegedly received training by the women at Sidley Group on the use of LIBOR leveraged lease for accelerated debt recovery with insurance frauds. Abel Danger alleges that Barack and Michelle Obama lost their law licenses when it was discovered they were extorting their clients in the style of the Weather Underground, which ain't too smart. Draw your own conclusion. Got it?
See?
Item 5. Sidley Law Firm offered advice in the use of business. International Corporation, BI, a publishing and advisory firm dedicated to assisting American companies in operating abroad, but it is thought a second definition was British Invisibles. In 1986, Business International was acquired by the Economist Group in London, and eventually merged with the Economist Intelligence Unit. Horizontal ellipsis. In the late summer of 1983, future United States President Barry Soetoro interviewed for a job at Business International Corporation. He went to Canada to change his name to Barack Obama and expunge Muslim and Indonesian from his profile. He worked at BI for little more than a year. Got it? Item 6. Posing as a research associate in its financial services division, he ghost-edited Financing Foreign Operations, a global reference service, and ghost-wrote for Business International Money Report, a weekly financial newsletter. His responsibilities included interviewing business experts, researching trends in foreign exchange, following market developments, and finding some dough to ghostwrite. Dreaming of finding out who my father was, he ghostwrote about currency swaps and leverage leases. Obama also helped write financial reports on Mexico and Brazil. Got it? Item 7. The law firm where these two dummies met and oppressed has just been hired to defend those caught with their fingers in the cookie jar in the LIBOR fraud. The long snobby name of Michelle Obama's law firm is Sidley Austin & Brown, and they are providing criminal legal defense for targets guilty of LIBOR manipulation. The LIBOR probe, an expensive smoking gun, court documents shed light on how LIBOR was allegedly manipulated, and you can bet Barry's birth certificate that Sidley is charged with the linking Wells Fargo and the LIBOR and the 9/11 misdeeds under Warren Buffett's greedy watchful eyes. Got it? Item 8. And this brings us back to Roger Hayes and his imprisonment for suggesting the alternate monetary system which would slam shut the Rothschild Central Bank. LIBOR is supposed to be constructed using banks' own honest estimates of what it costs for them to borrow money. But regulators around the world suspect that LIBOR, the London Interbank Offered Rate, a financial benchmark that is set every day by collating these estimates, has been subject to manipulation by Royal Bank of Scotland, Barclays, HSBC and Wells Fargo. Little information has been publicly released by the regulators that are investigating, but Canadian and American legal documents seen by The Economist paint a picture of what is alleged. It is not pretty. Marcus August and Bob Diamond may join the April Diamond in doing the ultimate runner to avoid the gallows. Got it?
Yes, Hamish. And number 10?
Royal Bank of Scotland knows they are in deep shit and are circling the wagons. They are clicking their heels like little sissy girls, saying they have legal and factual defenses when actually they don't have jack shit. Across the pond, the Canadian case opens a window into how LIBOR manipulation may have happened. Civil cases brought by banks' customers in America suggest who might have suffered if the rate was being gamed. And what is the net result? Bankers in Europe, excluding UK, are trying to crash both the UK and the US economies so that the royals of Europe can migrate to America to have the American milk and honey. America and the majority of the English have a two-word response for the European royals.
Is one of them a verb and the other you?
Correct, you are, my good man. Now please hail me a taxi. I must be at the Special Forces Club to meet with the planners of both the Strike Accord gathering on 21 July and also the Roger Hayes Freedom Celebration, where Roger and Field McConnell will reveal the joint operation, including white hats in Ministry of Defense and the US Department of Defense. I must be off.
Taxi.